An easy-to-use app that is great for centers or stations is Teach Me Kindergarten. Teach Me Kindergarten focuses on 6 different subject areas, all the while keeping track of up to 40 students. This progress can be assessed via the mastery of a category or a particular type of question. Let's take a look at this from a teacher view. If I'm a teacher and I open up the app, on the home screen, I can quickly go into Settings. In Settings, I can put up some restrictions, such as locking player switching, which means a student can't play in the app as another student, only as themselves. I can also see the progress of the students that are in my class. Let's click on this particular student. When I open up this particular student's progress, I can see that the categories that they've been working on. They've been working on math addition, spelling, Dolch sight words, and letter writing. But we've turned off math subtraction and number writing because we aren't quite ready to work on that for this particular student. Let's say I also want to turn off letter writing because I know that we aren't really ready for that either. I can also click on one of the categories, so say for instance addition, and I can make some settings again. Let's say I want to change the number of questions they have to get right to consider something learned. And I want to bump that down to 3. If they get 3 addition questions right, that means that it will be considered learned. If I go back here, I can also view questions. So if I click view questions, I can see all the questions the students have already answered correctly via the green check mark. I can also go ahead and change questions to be disabled or consider them learned. So as a teacher, I have several options to really differentiate the instruction for each particular student. Let's go back to a student view. The unique thing about Teach Me Kindergarten is it allows students to upload a picture and also have their name, so students can quickly pick themselves out of the group. So if I click on student, I'm brought to my home screen. And then up in the upper right hand corner is the mouse teacher who is constantly giving instructions to the students. I have the audio turned off right now for the purposes of the tutorial. In this, the student can see their own progression in particular categories. For instance, in math addition, this student has answered 2 questions correctly. In spelling, they've answered 4 questions correctly. And I can also see how many stars I've earned. I can choose to click play as if I'm a student and I want to go ahead and get started in the app, or I can check out my rewards. Let's start by clicking play. If I click play, the mouse teacher is now giving me some instructions on Dolch sight words. So obviously we would need audio for that. If I click in, which is incorrect, the mouse teacher is going to explain to me why that is incorrect, and I'm going to try again. And now I'm going to click the word I, and I see that I get a check mark, and I got that one right. Okay, the yellow check mark tells me I didn't get it right the first time. Now if we get into spelling, I'm given a picture of a bat, and I have to go ahead and pick the correct letter to begin that. And I pick the B, and again, I get that correct, I get another check mark. And the check marks get added up at the bottom. Now we have a math question. Math questions are great because it is asking students to do some addition. So for here I'm doing 1 plus 0, and I have this pod up here where I could pick other surfboards to add in here. But I'm adding 0, so I don't need to add any surfboards. If tap is turned on, I can click on this and I can see that there's 1 surfboard, which tells me 1 plus 0 equals 1. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my 1 there, and you can see that I have gotten a 3rd check mark, which tells me that in this particular category, I should earn a reward. And here you see I have received my coin, and the students can click on their coin and it's added to their piggy bank. They have 2 coins. Speaking of rewards, let's go ahead and check out the rewards section. If I click on the present, students are able to create different background stickers using the coins that they have earned. The nice thing about this, if I say click on Pirates Cove, the downfall is it automatically turns to landscape mode, so students will have to navigate that. But if I click on the shopping cart, I can add something. So I'm going to add a shark, and it tells me, the mouse teacher tells me how much this costs, and so I have to give the mouse teacher 1 coin, which I've done, and so now I've purchased that scenery. And the shark is added into my scene. So it's a great kind of incentive for students to keep working towards creating these backgrounds and these stickers, but also showing their progress. Teach Me Kindergarten is a great app because it really allows students to progress on their own, and it's very intuitive. Say you only have one iPad though in a classroom. Students can work in a small group setting to figure out the answers together, and then they could create and collaborate to create a sticker background. Or if you're ready for differentiation, you can really change what each student is going to work on, what type of question or what level of question they're going to work on. If you only have one iPad, you could also air serve this into your smartboard. You could complete this as a whole class. You can see here, in order to keep track of class progress, I've created a class account. I could click on my class and we could go ahead and we could work on, say for instance, addition as a whole group. And again, as mentioned in the beginning, this app is great for use in a center where students can just really work on their own pace on whatever subject is designated by a teacher. If you need more help with Teach Me Kindergarten, feel free to contact your iLearn specialist.